Well-styled Robin Hoods in Keene, New Hampshire have been feeding parking meters to help strangers avoid parking tickets and, according to city officials, harassing parking attendants. Well, now the city, which has seen their ticket revenues drop but claims the harassment is the real issue, is asking the state's highest court to bar the group's members from coming within 10 feet of those attendants. Well, it's quite a story, and FoxNews.com reporter Christina Corbin has written it on this group's do-gooders, and she joins us more now to talk about it. So why is this group, the so-called Robin Hoods, why are they gratuitously feeding meters of strangers?
The simple answer here, Greg, is that they just want to save the people from Keene, New Hampshire from having to pay these parking tickets, and they consider it a form of stealing on the city's part.
Where does the money go?
They claim that the money does not go to improving the city as a whole, but that it goes right back into the pockets of the parking department.
Thus the allegation of stealing. All right, so how much money is the city losing because the Robin Hoods are feeding the meters?
Okay, so according to the reports that we've seen, the city lost roughly $80,000 last year as a result of this group's so-called activism.
All right. Now, the city says, what, it's not about the money?
The city says it's not about the money. It's simply about, their employees showing up for work every day and not being harassed. They claim that these activists are bumping into the employees, intimidating them, putting, video cameras in their face and making them fearful of coming to work every day.
So we do have some video you've obtained of the so-called harassment,
The alleged
right?
harassment, yes.
And what does it show?
Well, it shows, these so-called Robin Hooders following around 3 or 4 parking officials for 8-9 hours a day, literally like tailing them everywhere they go, waiting for them to come out of bathrooms, talking to them and telling them what they're doing is terrible. And, some people would consider it harassment and others might not.
But the city has never filed any criminal harassment charges against the Robin Hoods?
Right. No one has ever been arrested, to my knowledge, for harassing the parking officials.
Yeah, which invites the question, is it really harassment in the legal sense? But nevertheless, the city has gone through the court system with the lower court first, right?
Right.
And what happened?
And in the lower court, the judge dismissed this and said, look, it might be deemed annoying, but this is First Amendment rights, the right to protest. These are government employees, and he dismissed it. They appealed that, and then they took it to New Hampshire's highest court, who will now take 90 days to decide whether or not there's a case here. All
right. So it really comes down to free speech, First Amendment. What's interesting is that you mentioned to me that, these aren't exorbitant tickets that you get if the meter is up and it's not properly fed. How much is it? Right.
It's about $5 a ticket. If you don't pay it, it might go up to 10, but we're not talking like New York City $70 and up ticket. I mean, it's $5. Yeah. But what they claim is that, the people who are being ticketed are not in a fire zone, they're not in a handicap space, they're in a parking lot where they're surrounded by 10 empty spaces, so there's no reason, in their view, for them to be ticketed in this way.
Yeah. I mean, you've had conversations with the Robin Hood group. They're dedicated. Are they a little obsessive?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, it's sort of comical. They'll go around with these little cards that have the Disney character of the Robin Hood picture on it, and they'll leave it on the windshield of the car that they, quote, saved, so that that driver will know that they, were saved from a fine and a possible, having their car impounded. So it's somewhat comical, but they're very dedicated. I mean, they're very driven in their cause. Yeah.
One wonders, if they're so dedicated, why don't they just try to change the city ordinance or elect new city officials to ban the meters if they really feel that passionately about it?
I think they're hoping that the longer this goes on, that it might come to that. And we've learned, according to the city attorney, that some of the employees have had to seek psychiatric counseling for stress and anxiety. When they of course took on the job, they knew that, you would you would obviously deal occasionally with hostile, angry drivers upset about getting a ticket. Nobody likes getting a ticket.
Right.
But the city attorney claims the behavior of this group is above and beyond the occasional, hostile driver.
Sure.
And it's interfering with their ability to do their job.
Well, harassment. They should spend a day being a TV reporter. See what that's like. Christina, thanks very much. Terrific story.
You're welcome.
For more on Robin Hooders, check out Christina's story on foxnews.com. It's a good one. I'm Greg Jarrett. Thanks for watching.